Hello, it's Jeanette with Amazing Paper Crafts. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm back with another video tutorial, and in today's tutorial I'm going to have a play with the Dandy Garden Suite. And that suite is from our mini catalog, and it is on page 24 and 25 of the mini catalog. And you can just see how many wonderful products we have that go within that suite. And of course you can buy these products separately, but you get a little bit of a savings when you buy the whole suite. And there's only one part number to deal with right there. Okay, so anyway, I thought the other day I wanted to play around with this because I haven't had too much of a chance to do so. And we're going to be making a card kind of similar to this, but we're going to change up the colors. This, if you notice, this card is just a little bit bigger than our A2, I think, yeah, the A2 card, which is, 5.5 by 4 1/4. This actually measures, let me see, 6 1/4 by 4 1/4. And it goes into the envelope that is in our Memories and More cards envelopes. So I made this just a little bit bigger, and the measurements and everything I will give you when we make the other card. But I want to show you this other card I made. And I tried to challenge myself to use everything that's in that suite. So we've got the laser cuts in here. We've got the die cuts. This is actually a punch that punches out the Dragonfly. We have the stickers that come from the Memories and More cards. And we also have the stamp set. In that Memories and More cards, there's labels and stickers with sentiments on there. There's that little ladybug there. And more stickers here. And on the inside of the card, I used one of the stamp sets to say wishing you all the best. And some more stickers on the inside. And this is a very busy card. I even used the ribbon. Very busy card. I don't know who I'm going to give this to, but I had loads of fun making it. But it's not usually my style to make a card like this. I like to go just a little bit simpler, and that's when I came up with this one. It still uses a lot of the products in that suite, but in challenging myself, I've used everything in the suite, including the designer series paper, which is right here. Yeah, you would think that I'd stamp that and cut that out or punch that out, but this is actually designer series paper that has the Dragonfly printed on it, and you can punch that out. I'm trying to look for it over here. I know I had this. Here it is, right here. Oops, that's not it. Okay. So the fun thing about that, see, I've already punched out a couple of things from here. These Dragonflies, you can use the actual punch to go in and punch that out. And they also have some little Dragonflies here. And if you're real careful, you can actually punch that out with the top smaller part of the Dragonfly punch. Isn't that cool? Okay, and now this is the designer series paper where you can actually die cut these little bees. See these little bees right here? And they give you 2 dies to cut out all the little bees on this sheet. And that's what we'll be doing today. We'll be die cutting some bees. Okay, so to begin with, like I said, this is a card that's just a little bit bigger. The envelope is absolutely gorgeous. It's got printing on it here. It's got printing on the inside of the flap. And it goes and coordinates so perfect with this whole suite. So let me grab another card from that suite, and we are going to be decorating it. But I decided that I'm going to change up the colors just a little bit because, I don't want to do the same card over and over again, right? So let me pull out some different colors that we're going to be using. I believe I have chosen, instead of this bumblebee background, we're going to be using this Calypso coral background. And for the forefront, you see I have this designer series paper here with the darker blue and the dandelions. I'm going to be using this. It is a two-sided. All of our designer series paper is two-sided. And I'm also going to be using a piece of Blackberry Bliss instead of that Mossy Meadow. So let's just see how this is going to turn out, because I just started grabbing colors when I saw this beautiful paper here. So I'm going to bring out my paper trimmer, and I've got I have the measurements over here. I just have to pull them out here. Okay, so for the first layer of Designer Series paper, this already measures 6 by 6, but we're just going to cut a 4-inch piece. And now you can cut it this way or you can cut it this way, but I want my my dandelions to go up and down. So we're just going to cut 4 inches off of here. Okay. And the actual layer for the that you see this green right here, I'm just going to be die cutting it, so I'm just going to be leaving this at 5.5 by 4 1/4. And let me put this aside. So I'm just going to go ahead and trim that down to 5.5, because I have a piece that's a little bit too big for that. And I'll keep this around just in case I make a mistake, which I do often. Okay, now we're going to be die cutting this, and now with this piece here, we need a piece that measures, oh, actually, we're going to be die cutting, yeah, I think we're going to be die cutting this. So let me just real quickly measure what we need here, just in case. Okay, that piece is going to measure about 2, and I'm going to go ahead and cut it in half at the 3-inch mark here. Like I say, we are going to be die cutting it, but if I cut it in half, that'll give us enough room. Let me bring this over here like that. Okay. All right. Now we'll put that aside in case I make a mistake too. Okay, so let's get started with all the die cutting that we are going to need to do. Now I'm calling this my hollow layer card, and this is the reason. This first layer here, I'm going to be die cutting using the rectangle stitch dies, and I am going to need to die cut first. I'm going to die cut the Rich Razzleberry. Let me just put a little piece of tape on that. Okay. And then I'm going to, with the next one smaller, I'm not using the largest one. I'm using the second to the smallest for the cardstock. I'm going to go ahead and use the third to the smallest, to the largest, sorry. Second to the largest for the cardstock, third to the largest for the Designer Series paper. And we're also going to, hold on a second, I'm getting this. We are also going to go like this. Okay, now we're going to be cutting this out twice, because I'm going to be using a little bit of that for the thank you for your kindness label here. So let's just go ahead and put another little piece of cardstock here. And with this one here, I'm going to need to cut a piece out with the smallest, no, not the smallest one, right here. Okay, see how I'm doing this? I'm kind of trying to layer everything down here. Actually, let me see if I can go this way with it. Well, no, I can't go that way with it, so I'm just going to go ahead and go this way with it. Now this layer here, when I die cut it out, is this where you see the bumblebee that's right behind the sentiment label. And then I'm also going to be using the smallest one for the sentiment label on the cardstock here. So we've got 3 things going through on the cardstock, and we got 2 things going through on the Designer Series paper. Okay, I'm trying to make sure that I'm getting this kind of perfect, but you know, can't be too perfect. Okay, so I'm going to take all of this to the die cutting machine, and I'm also going to need to die cut this with, hold on a second, is that the one? No, I think I need to die cut this with this one here, but I'll be back to do that, and I'm taking it right now to the die cutting machine. So I'll be back. Okay, like I said, I need this die right here in the middle to now die cut this piece right here. And I can choose whether I want more. I think I want to go down a little bit so I get some more of this Calypso coral in. Actually, you know what? I'll go up a little bit. About right there. That's what I'm going to do. And I will be right back after I die cut this. So now I have all my pieces die cut. That wasn't too bad, was it? I hope not. All right, let's see. We've got this one. We are going to be heat embossing a sentiment on here. We have this one here, which I don't think I'm going to need this layer, but I can use it for another card. This is the layer that I need. Get all of this reusable tape. You got to be kind of gentle with that sometimes. Okay, we're going to be using this layer here. Let me get this off here. So you see, sometimes you rip it when you're not gentle with it. And we'll put this back. So that was the second to the largest for the cardstock. The third to the largest, that's this one here, for the designer series paper. Okay, and of course, you know, I'm going to have this on the screen. Third to the largest for the designer series paper. And we're going to be layering this on here just like that. We'll use some Tombow Mono adhesive, and then this layer is going to go right here on top of that. And then we're going to have this layer here go on top of this, like that. And then we're going to have this layer here go on top of that, like that. That's why I call it my hollow layering, because most every piece has a hole, or has a die cut punched out of it, or die cut out of it. So it makes it hollow in the middle. And what that does, it makes the card a little bit lighter for mailing. Let's see. And it does, like if you're trying to stand the card up, it doesn't want to tip over. Okay, do you see how I'm doing this here? So let's put all of our pieces together in using some Tombow Mono adhesive. And then we'll go on to die cutting everything else. But I want to put my dies away. Look at all these dies I had to use for that card. I just absolutely love this, and I'm so happy that this die set is not going to be retiring. It is going to be in the new. Well, we're also going to use that for that here. Use that for that here. It's going to be in the new annual catalog. So that is the rectangle stitch style. I think it's called Stitched Rectangles, but I'm not sure. I'll make sure I have that on the screen, or it'll be listed in the description. Okay, so let's bring out our silicone craft sheet. Silicone craft sheet. So we'll start with layer 1, and I'm going to do it in layers like this. Okay, so this is the last piece, and I'm going to be popping this up with dimensionals. Let's bring out our dimensionals, and we're going to put a few here and there. I like to put one on every corner, and then if it's a big enough piece, I put one on the side, and then I will put 2 more in between to have it kind of sturdy right there. So let's take our backers off the dimensionals. Yep, they're all sticky. Okay, so now I am going to just try to eyeball this to make sure I have this right in the middle. It's not perfect, but it's fine. It is fine. Okay, so the next thing you're going to be doing is taking this. You can do this right now, but what I'll do is I'll wait till I have this embossed. I tell you what, this is why I have this little piece right here. Let's do this again. And I'm going to use this. I'm going to take this and the Versamark. Okay, since I messed this up so badly. This is me in real life. We're going to just stamp that down like that. We're going to bring in that scrap piece of paper. Ink that up. Powder that up. And you know what I forgot to do, right? With the embossing buddy. But that's okay. It doesn't look like there's a lot of, extra that's stuck to the side. Just maybe a few fragments, but that's okay. I'm going to get rid of it with my fingernail. Now let's put that aside. I'm going to empty this back into the jar. And make a mess as I'm doing it. Let's put that aside over there. And of course, we'll clean it all up later, right? But for right now, we need to get some heat embossing going on. And let's put the cover back on the Versamark. And let's do this. I'm going to bring out my heat tool and we're going to just run with it. Okay, that looks pretty good. Now I'm going to take that smallest die from the rectangle stitch dies and I'm going to put this in my die cutting machine. I'm just going to grab just a small little piece of tape to hold it where I want it. Make sure that it's even on the bottom. And I will be right back. That's what I'm looking for. Okay, let's put this die back over here. Glad I kept that piece right there. So what I want to do is I want to color that white, but I'm not really sure. When you're not sure about what color you're going to use, always start with the lighter colors. So this light color I have here is Dark Mango Melody. That's what I used on this card, and that almost perfectly matches with the bumblebee here. So we didn't have a bumblebee blends marker, Stampin' Blends. So the next best thing is to try to match the color with a different, with a different orange, or this is actually yellow. And we also have Daffodil Delight, but it wasn't the right shade when I did this. So I'm going to compare this to see if I want that color, or I don't know. Let me try to see if I like this is Calypso Coral. It's the dark Calypso Coral. Oh yeah, I think I'm definitely going to want the Calypso Coral here. So I'm going to finish coloring all of this with the Calypso Coral. Now when you layer it on this piece right here, it looks so pretty together, because now you've got that Calypso Coral that will kind of shine through. Excuse me. So I'm going to go ahead and put some liquid glue on the back of this. I'm going to put some liquid glue on the back of the other piece too, but before I do that, I want to make sure I've got this in the center here. Is that centered? Yeah. Okay. And let's pick out some. Oh, let's see, what do we have here? I used the little dandelions, and of course I used a little one of these ladybugs. Is that what they're called? The little ladybug trinkets. I think I'll do the same, but let me pick to see whether I want yeah, you know what? I think I'm going to take this one here, and I'm going to put that right over here. Okay, and let me go ahead and adhere this to the card. I'm going to go up just a little bit to show off that little Calypso coral dragonfly there. See that? Go up like that. Isn't that cute? All right. Well, unfortunately, my camera stopped when I was filming this, and I didn't realize it, but I'm just going to walk you through what I did. I didn't really want to use the linen thread that comes in the Dandy Gardens suite. This is the braided linen thread. I used it on this card, but I thought I wanted just something a little different. So what I did is I pulled out the Blackberry Bliss striped ribbon, and that is from the ice cream, got it right here, the ice cream corner suite, and I made myself a little bow and I put it right here on the corner. And I also die cut a little bee from the designer series paper, and I used one of the dies. See, that's what I did. And I just wanted to do one of those. And then I also punched, which I will show you how I did it, because I already stuck it on here, but I found the Calypso Coral Dragonfly in this paper here, like right here. There it is again. So what you kind of need to do is you need to cut it out roughly in order to get it to punch out with that dragonfly punch. And because these two don't line up, you want to definitely cut this out like this. And so I am going to go ahead and just take this and very gently put some seal adhesive right here. And I'm going to kind of just stickify it a little bit. I don't really want it to be too sticky, but I'm going to put that dragonfly right here on this piece of copy paper. You could use a post-it note if you want to, whatever you want. And so I'm going to bring this in, and I am going to line it up the best I can, and I will punch it. Okay, and that's how I got this little dragonfly, and I just stuck it right there. Now I also put one of the little trinkets on here, and I think you already saw me put the sticker on there. So what about the inside of the card? We can do several things. What I've got here is some little sprinkle of dragonflies that come in the Dragonfly Garden stamp set. That's this little sprinkle right here. And I think what I want to do is I want to take some Blackberry Bliss, and I want to just ink that up, and I want to put a little bit of Blackberry Bliss here in the corner there. And let me see, what else do I have that I could work with these little yeah, I still have some labels here. What I think I'm going to do is take one of these stickers, rather. I'm going to take a sticker, and I'm going to put this right here on the bottom, just for some decoration on the inside here. And let's do our sentiment now. Our sentiment is going to be, oh, look what I did. Ah, that's what I get for leaving this open. So my sentiment for the inside is, you are an inspiration. So I'm just going to go ahead and ink that up. And I'm going to stamp that down right in here. And I pushed it a little too hard. You see that? I can use my sand eraser to erase that little mark there. But I also want to put a little bumblebee on the inside. And I think I'm going to put that right there. What else do I have to put on the inside? Using those little stickers. Looking for the rest of my stickers here. Okay, where are they? Right here. Okay. And I can put maybe a little one of these stickers here. That's kind of cute. I think I'm gonna leave it just like that. Okay, now with Photoshop I can just, like, for the photo I can just, like, kind of, you know, erase that. But this is what happens when you leave your ink pads open. So try to remember to close them. Note to self, close the ink pads. So anyway, these are my 2 cards, the envelopes that go with them. Okay, beautiful designer series paper. I pretty much used everything except maybe the laser. You know, I was thinking, where could I put this little laser cut thing, but I think that would just make it way too busy. So these are my cards today, and I hope that you enjoyed this video. I know it was a process. Thank you for sticking with me. So if you need any of the tools and supplies, don't forget, this is from the mini catalog. It does not retire until June 30th, so you have plenty of time. But this is all from the Dandelion, the Dandy Garden Suite. That's what it is, Dandy Garden Suite. So everything I've used is listed in the description, and please go to my website at www.geoamazingpapercrafts.stampinup.net. I hope to be your demonstrator if you don't already have one. So once again, I'm Jeanette with Geoamazing Paper Crafts, and you make it a great day. Bye-bye.